So episode 7. The thing about this episode is that I feel like having gone through episode 6, I feel that this was perhaps the weakest episode of them all, because I didn't as much. You see, episode 6 for me was the most crucial because I can remember something very clear about that. I can pin it somewhere and say that was it has a lot of religious connotation. There was something religious about that particular episode. For this particular episode, the only thing I can remember is someone coming up with an idea of an elephant. That's all. And it's actually, the episode is called Elephant. And I thought that would have been something to do with the game. But now, like, this is episode 7. I would think that we would start to learn more about Patoff. I remember talking about Patoff might have been something more than human. I expected the episode to actually push us forward and now try to get us to understand who Patoff really is, but we don't actually truly still understand who he is. The episode focuses on promotion of the video game. So they've launched Mr. Sang's Jungle Odyssey. Now Mr. Patoff needed ideas to help it market and push it out, to the market. Helene comes up with a silly joke of releasing an elephant on the streets of LA, and Mr. Patoff is like, yo, I like the idea. So she has now to come up with a way of getting the elephant out in the streets. So apart from that, the business seems to be working well. Things seems to have started to move. But now Craig, I think he has become one of the most unlikable characters in the series so far. I love the first Craig from episode 1 to 5. He was conflicted, and he was broken, conflicted, and he was working hard on trying to bring himself together, and I liked that about him. But this time he was less of that and more of just a boring, flat character. It's like because I don't understand how his life was put together by another person, another individual. Because now that Patty has not come back to the house, and you don't know where Patty is, so she's not back in the house. We've not seen her in the series. Actually, it ends with her working on Mr. Patoff's whatever space, but we didn't see her go back home. So now Craig is drinking, smoking weed, is careless. He doesn't feel normal anymore. He feels distracted. There's a lot going on, and he just feels like destabilized. He feels like he has lost all hopes in life. He feels like he has just given up, and it's just hard to follow him. Actually, this episode for me was an Elaine episode, trying to get, because now she has to get someone to go and get the elephant, because now they agreed that she was going to get the elephant. So now she thinks that she can get her ex-boyfriend to come and actually make it possible to get the elephant, and that's okay. But probably things get thicker when Mr. Patoff's, because the boyfriend asks for $30,000, and Mr. Patoff goes like, we have $20,000, and then again he goes back. Elaine has to go back and explain to him, and they agree. But Mr. Patoff on payday goes like, we are going to give him $10,000, and then after the work is done, we're going to give him what? The rest of the money. And I'm like, Mr. Patoff, really, can he be trusted? Anyway, he manages to convince Elaine to convince the ex-boyfriend to actually go execute the mission by paying him half first instead of paying him the whole amount. And she has to do all this crazy stuff. I'm actually starting to doubt her character, because what they had established about her has totally been flipped, because she was the only person who was not cold-blooded and out to just, she was the only person who had a sense of morality in the team. And now she feels like she's just another crazy corporate hungry character in the film, and I personally didn't enjoy that. I would have wished they would have maintained the Elaine that we knew. I don't know where the story is going to go, but for me was a very, we don't really get to know more about Patoff, and that for me was the most disappointing part, because there was also an opportunity for Greg and one of the other co-worker to go and find out where Mr. Patoff lives. Apparently Greg had installed a spyware in Mr. Patoff's phone, so they're in a party, they're having fun, and then Craig opens up the spyware, and then they can see where Mr. Patoff has been going. Here I am expecting to go to this grand house, or an alien invisible ship, or just something different, and that is turned into a joke. And for me, I was like, come on, yeah. they've been building this anticipation in the film, and it feels like they're doing that thing that I hate about series, which is just stringing things too much. You know, if you have a good season is, it begins and has an ending. So don't cram everything at the last. And I've noted all the episodes are like 30 minutes. So I don't know what they're going to do with the last episode. How much time will they have for us to understand who Mr. Patoff is and what his deal is? Because I feel like they've been stringing us along for so many episodes, and it feels like the string is starting to run out, you know? The mystery for me is starting to die, because it's like the producers and the directors are playing with us, they're toying with us. It's like this guy is going to end up being just an ordinary human being, which for me can't really work, because they've established something. They've established something so strong in the first 5 episodes. Why would you now just step back and say, oh my goodness, this was just a joke, he's just a corporate? Because now it feels like they're molding Mr. Patoff as this harsh corporate individual. They're making him feel like now a boss, rather than this mysterious human being. They're making him feel like a normal human boss. The way a boss would behave, the way a boss would aggressively push you, is the way Mr. Patoff is pushing Elaine. There's no mystery about him anymore. He feels like just a boss. There's nothing. There's that thing that they were trying to tell us in the first 5 episodes. It's just not there anymore. He feels human, which for me doesn't make sense, you know. So this is an interesting episode. I don't know, maybe they're setting something up for the last episode. I don't know how he got. I don't know what's up with Patty, because at the end of the episode we discover where Patty is and her condition, and I'm like, how the hell what is she doing, first of all? Second thing, how the hell did he, is this again religious? Did he hypnotize her? Did he have some mind control thing so that she can be able to do what she was doing without even, and looking very, very pleasant, very, very happy with what she was doing? So yeah, I don't know where the showrunners are taking this particular episode. Okay, yeah, the other thing that I remember about this episode is that this is the first time we get to understand how the relationship between Craig and Elaine began, because that's like the opening scene. They have very good opening scenes, so they kind of introduce to us how the two met and at what the condition that Craig was in during that period, and how it plays out into this. But I do not like Craig. Let me just put it this way: in this particular episode, I did not like Greg. Greg is not an interesting character. So yeah, let's wait for episode 8 and see because this is the finale. Let's see what they're going to do.